business, any business, is risk. And you have to be able to manage that risk. And to tell us about how you can manage that risk, we have Ken Hackshaw, who is a risk management consultant and the director of the Caribbean Risk Management Academy. Good morning, Ken. Ken Hackshaw, good morning. Have we lost Ken? All right. Ken, you'll have to unmute your mic.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, loud and clear.
Brilliant, brilliant.
All right.
How are you, Carrie?
I'm doing quite well. And, as we were speaking during the break there, you know my family. So, it's like chatting with...
A bit of your family, just a bit, yeah.
Good morning, Auntie Charlene. Good morning. All right. All right. So we are speaking risk management. And, just piggybacking from the budget discussion and, the release of what the Minister of Finance was saying about the budget, we have to consider now doing more with less. How do we begin to even tackle that subject?
Okay, so there are two dimensions to this. There is the personal aspect, and then there is the company or the organizational aspect. So let's personalize it, because oftentimes when I lecture or when I go into organizations, I would say risk begins with you as an individual.
Right.
So Carrie, you're working for TTT, but you have a little gig at the side, yeah?
That's right.
And I think Mr. Remy also is sort of like quasi self-employed. So, and operates in the entertainment space, I understand, Mr. Remy?
That's right.
So let's apply risk management relative to the budget at a personal level. So do you guys have a business continuity plan? Do you have a disaster preparedness plan? How vulnerable are you to what's coming with the budget? How susceptible are you? How resilient are you? Yeah. Do you have an updated strategic personal plan for taking you beyond 2020?
Right.
All those things I just spoke about are elements of risk management. So one of the things we'll be covering in the conference, and we could get to that in a minute, is entertainment risk management, because entertainers are themselves both a product and a company, because they offer themselves as a product, a goods or service, but they also are the owners of themselves. Yes?
Right.
Right. So if the conglomerates could have a risk management plan to ensure they continue in their line of business or that they're profitable, the same applies. And unfortunately, we have been hearing a lot about entertainers in the news of late. Most of it not really good, either by way of financial impact or health impact. And I hope they all are doing well. But without a plan in place, and your grandmom or your mom or your aunt probably would tell you that, you're just like, throwing spaghetti against the wall, seeing what will catch.
Seeing what will stick, right.
So that's the fundamental part about risk management. It's becoming more risk intelligent to identify what threats or risks out there, what opportunities are there, and having a plan to treat with each of them. So that's risk management at the basic level.
Right. And when it comes to risk management during this time of a pandemic, how do we begin to start putting things together to manage the added risk of the pandemic and what it poses toward business?
Okay, so Carrie, another pandemic will occur, 2 years, 3 years. Are you now more prepared for when it happens again?
Can you repeat that question, please? I didn't hear the last part.
I said, let's it's not an assumption. Let's say another pandemic will happen in another 3-4 years.
Right.
Yes? Are you more prepared for when that happens?
I would not say so, because me personally, I'm still in the learning process of how to even move through this pandemic we're going through now.
Okay, so what are you doing while you're learning? What are the lessons learned thus far? How are you capturing that data?
Right.
Because I'll give you a good analogy, because we all are making decisions, yes?
Yes.
But we are not operationalizing the decisions. So let me give you a sort of like an analogy. So you and 3 buddies are at a bar. One of them decide to go to another bar. How many folks are still at the bar? You and 3 buddies are at a bar. So 4 of you. One decides to leave. How many remain?
Yeah, 3.
No. A decision was made to leave, but he never left.
Right.
He never left. So my point is this. It's all good to have a plan or decisions, but we need to operationalize it.
Right.
We need to action. It needs to be actionable. So while we're going through this COVID, and it's whether it's company or personal, what are the lessons are we learning? What are we capturing? So not if, when it does occur, will we be better prepared? We'll be less vulnerable. We'll be more resilient. Yeah. So companies now, so you have the COVID and you have your budget. So companies now, and yourself and Mr. Remy are companies in and of themselves. What data are we capturing now so that when this does happen again, we'll be better prepared? Or as we live through 2021 because of the budget, how are we changing our plans to treat with the budget? Right. Same thing with state entities. All state enterprises now must revisit all of their strategic plans.
Right.
Yeah. So they must do more with less. But how prepared are they to do that?
That's right.
How prepared are they? And so that's the value. That's the value of risk management, or having a formal risk management framework in place.
Of course. And to learn that, there's an upcoming conference. And could you tell us more about it?
Okay, so we have an entity called the Trinidad and Tobago Risk Management Institute, of which some of your family members are members.
Right.
And so coming out of what we would have done in the past, so the Arthur Lugjack Graduate School, kudos to them, run most of our workshops. And we have also done interventions in many companies in Trinidad and Tobago. So coming out of what we have learned there, we have expanded. So we formed the Caribbean Risk Management Academy a couple months ago. And to effect that, to operationalize that decision, you see how I connect the dots there?
Right.
We are hosting a Caribbean Risk Management Conference on November 19th. And we have identified a bunch of speakers and panelists. And the theme of the conference is constructively disrupting Caribbean economies.
Right.
Risk Management 4.0, constructively disrupting Caribbean economies. And by the way, Harry, an economy is you. You are your economy. So economies are not only to government and state enterprises. They are the self-employed, the entertainers, the folks in tourism. Their economy, if I could use that word, needs some constructive disruption.
That's right.
And so registration is open. You can go to CaribbeanRiskManagement.com. We have confirmed speakers both locally, regionally, and internationally.
Right.
More of that will come out. We have one of the new ministers, one very progressive and risk intelligent, that has accepted our invite to speak at the conference.
Wonderful.
Some of the main leaders in corporate TNT and the Caribbean will also be speaking or will be on a panel. And so one last point about the conference, it's not a talk shop. So folks attending will walk away with something, either a methodology, a new process, a new line of thinking as to how do they future-proof their organization or themselves.
Right.
Yeah? And that's a new tag word you could use, future-proofing.
Right. Ken, we do have to stick a pin in it there, but I want to thank you for joining us this morning. And again,
That's
you
fine.
can go onto CaribbeanRiskManagement.com to get more information on how you can register for this upcoming conference. Again, thank you so much, Ken Hackshaw, Risk Management Consultant and Director of the Caribbean Risk Management Agency.